What does it say? Pango?
Pongo.
Who's Pongo?
101 Dalmatians.
Oh, okay. You want me to hold that?
Well, it's the Mangle one, too.
Oh, my God. Not the mangled leash, baby.
Did I turn this on? Sure. Oh, my God. What the f***?
Is it okay?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm awake now.
Ain't it a bit? Right, I'm awake too. That did get me together. And that can be the opening. The beat, your little editing where you go like, cheat.
People will be like, Mera's a horrible person.
No.
Hey everyone, it's Mera Mangle.
And Fabrielle.
And welcome to another Mangled morning.
Woo!
Fabrielle, congratulations.
Oh, thank you on Miss Dart 2025.
Miss Dart, yes. We had a little dart tournament. We had a little pride event at Flight Club.
Yes.
When I invited you guys, I'm sure you were like, Mera wants us to do a fight club.
That is what me and Chloe did think. We thought we were going to be fighting.
Fight
so
club.
We were ready. We had like a whole Rocky Balboa
whole
montage.
Outfit.
Yeah.
No, Flight Club. And yeah, they hosted us for Pride. And we
it was so much fun.
And you won.
Yes, I didn't know. I'm Katniss Everdeen. I can throw
with
the
darts.
Right, not with a real bow and arrow.
We haven't tried that yet.
It was so much fun. I loved it.
You know, we called this Mangle morning, but today's not really a Mangle morning. Today's a dripping morning.
Right.
I'm dripping.
Because it is hot here.
And it was hot this week on Drag Race.
Yes, ma'am.
This is what I spend my time on.
I'm screaming.
I made a special logo.
Yes.
And it's my little tribute to the Vivian.
Oh my God.
At first I was like, is that distasteful? But also I'm like, no, she actually would love that.
She would approve. And she would think that this man is dripping as well.
She would understand.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. He was really the highlight. I'm glad that we got introduced to him. And he was so charming.
Yeah. No, he's so gorgeous. And, I mean, if you can still look attractive in a dog outfit, that is a skill.
I didn't fully commit to the dog.
I think you're committed. They're giving the Dalmatian. I'm going to make a coat out of you later.
Oh.
Glenn Close.
Things did not work out. I mean, purple bracketed.
Purple bracket.
You know what? This quote
Season 3 curse.
Exactly. That's why I was like, this sums it up. It's impressive that they managed to have the Season 3 curse in one season.
In one season, baby.
And it's so true.
The third bracket curse.
Have the Season 3 curse for real. In this particular episode,
mm-hmm.
Daya Betty was insufferable.
Oop.
Like, that's exactly how I felt.
Her and Alyssa going at it. It was like...
I mean, it was her going at Alyssa over. It was about the same thing over and over again. It was exhausting.
I feel like maybe the producers told her to do that or something.
Over the years, I forgot about how Daya Betty was on her season.
Diabolical.
She got a little Karen energy.
Oh, the Karen of drag.
That's what I called her on season 14, but I forgot about that. And I feel like
she does like those little pussycat wigs, too.
I thought it was really rough for her.
Rough.
Obviously, it was really
You thought it was rough
for Denali as well.
I can't talk about it. I literally had to like stop. I kind of dissociated when the critiques happened. I was like, I keep getting targeted ads because I think Denali is like a car model as well. There's like a brand called Denali.
Oh, I thought you meant she also models car like a.
Well, she is.
I was like, what do you mean?
In my world,
like, she models in cars. Or?
Denali should model cars. I agree, but no, like I keep getting ads for like. The new Denali car, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, I literally cannot. It's too soon.
Next week, they're coming together. And, of course, the preview...
And all the new confessional looks.
Right. And the preview was filled with Mistress, though. Mistress coming for
Yeah.
Ginger, which I want to see that. I need to see that.
Yes.
So we're going to break everything down. But before we get started, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the video. And join the Patreon where you can see all kinds of additional content. Ow, I hit my leash.
Oh!
You can see on YouTube. Plus, you're helping support the channel.
Poor baby. Do we need to take you to the vet?
Now, you can also support the channel by tipping on Venmo or Cash App, like Stephanie M. And Stephanie said, just watch Bracket 3. They need to do a night of 1,000 Marie Antoinettes next season.
Oh my God.
But Video Idea do all Marie Antoinette looks that we've seen, maybe rank them. Before Michelle was complaining about it, that's actually been a pet peeve of mine for years prior to this.
Oh, okay,
prior to
so
Michelle
you started the Marie Antoinette complaining.
I invented no more Marie Antoinette. But Michelle does get a little confused at what Marie Antoinette is.
Elizabethan is not the same as Marie Antoinette.
Anything that's old and like Victorian looking.
She said of that era. That's not even were Marie Antoinette and Shakespeare even alive at the same time?
They were like 150 years apart, I think.
Yeah, baby, no. We need to go back to the
I only know
class.
that because someone told me.
Yeah. I mean, I knew it.
Aaron said in one of the
I didn't know the exact year, but I was just like, girl, she's confused. Let the girls powder their faces. Like, I don't think it's that serious. And I think now it would be very bold of someone to do a Marie Antoinette now that she has looked at the camera and said, no more.
I did think that face was great. You know, what she could have said is, if you're going to do it, since it's been done so much, you better make sure it's really good. Otherwise, don't come.
I mean, no one's done it better than Raja, and I think that's really where we're at.
See, well, I did pick my favorite, and I still stick by my favorite of all time is Cedar Jean on Holland Season 1.
Oh, I liked that outfit.
Nobody done this extravagant. She had the full-on meal inside of her dress.
Right.
It was incredible. But yeah, you're right. Raja's the first one, and also, like, one of the most unique still. Now, of course, you can also tip using the YouTube thanks, which we'll go over some of those at the end of the video. So last week, you know, the big viral story was that Denali did not
oh baby, I know,
dance on the runway. I'm surprised that like the way it was edited was still left very vague. Did not come up. Denali said that she felt like she did the best she could and da-da-da-da-da.
And I agree.
I feel like it was implied that she was angry.
I saw more disappointment than anger. I saw like...
Well, she didn't show any anger.
Do you know like when Jan didn't win the Rusical? That's like, she knew at that point.
That was cracked.
She knew at that, and I think Denali was a little cracked. I think she knew at that point, oh, I'm not going to win. And I think Denali, after doing that, she said, and Rue not calling her name while Ginger Minj was sitting there dressed like Little Gideon from Gravity Falls. I think she knew at that point, oh, I'm not going to win. Because she is what Naysha Lopez calls them as like, the disruptors, kind of like the Ajas on All Stars 3, like they do better than production thinks they're gonna do.
Right.
And Denali did that. I'm a Denali stan, so this was really hard for me. But I love Cuckoo, and I'm so glad all the girls like gave her flowers.
This episode had a lot of like touching moments with the
and that was a saving grace of it.
Seeing Acid
and
Betty
Zane Phillips
get emotional. This was my favorite Alyssa episode.
Yeah, like, Alyssa standing her ground.
Right. She actually tried to work with that lady week 1. She didn't want to play along with her. I mean, I did feel like that week Alyssa was overly produced. And so I felt like, well, I still don't know her. But this week, you could genuinely see that she was so, like, confused at why. And, you know.
And so were we. Listen, her idea of consistency was Cuckoo. And I kind of understand where she was coming from. Like,
because I don't think it's either one of them. Because for me, it would have been Acid Betty.
You would have given,
Acid's been the most consistent to me.
See, I would have given it to Denali.
Or Denali.
Because I think she should have been in the top honestly, Denali could have been in the top every week for me. Like
Acid, I feel the same. I feel that Denali and Acid have been the true standouts. I think obviously Ginger stood out this episode. Yeah. But for me, they've been...
Do you know what I thought too? Is that all of the girls who, you know, made it through to the next bracket have all come back before. Ginger has come back her 4th time. Cuckoo, this is her 3rd time, technically. And Daya even was eliminated on her season and then was brought back.
And they still think she's Crystal Method, so technically that counts too.
But I'm just like, but this was one of the most touching moments. Even Acid pouring her heart out and being like, that's my sister, and I know that she deserves this. That was honestly one of the saving grace moments of this episode.
And it's hard to be mad at Cynthia. You know, obviously it's not, first of all, it's not Cynthia's fault, period.
Yeah.
But, like, she's just so lovely.
Did you hear about how she, like, asked production to deliver Daya cookies and juice and was like, I got this so that, you know, you could keep your blood sugar up. Daya apparently, like, ugly cried in her hotel room for, like, 30 minutes about it. Like, that's the kind of girl Cuckoo is. So it's kind of wild that she won no challenges.
I mean, in general, the challenge wins on this for this group have been... Like,
they don't matter.
They
at the end of the day,
they don't make any sense.
They've been one flew over Miss Cuckoo's nest. Crazy.
I don't think Daya should have won any of them.
I honestly liked her look. Her and Denali's were my favorites of the first week. So and then honestly, I thought her poodle was really funny this week too. So she could have I understand her being in the top this week too.
So Daya gives her star. I'm back to the stars and badges. Her point to Cuckoo. Of course, Acid does, and that was so. It was actually really great to see because we've heard about how they're good friends, but we actually really haven't even got a lot of it on this season. I feel like this episode was like, oh, we're really seeing the relationships that.
We're seeing
we didn't get a ton of
the Cuckoo geniality.
Right. You know, they talk about the consistency thing. Like they even show the clip, and I mean it's a vague statement. it can mean whatever you want it to mean.
So I don't know why Daya latched on so hard, like that point belonged to her. And it was, I know she went over and said, I don't mean to disrespect you, but that is what you're saying to Cuckoo. Like you're saying, Cynthia, I don't think you're consistent.
You shouldn't have that point.
You shouldn't have had that point.
Right.
Whether you literally say it or not, because you are so upset about her decision, that's what you're saying.
I mean, talk about disrespectful, the way she talked to Alyssa and the way she brought it up over and over again, saying the same thing.
Yeah.
I need to know I can trust you and that you're not... And saying, after she's already explained herself...
She said, that's my opinion and you need to respect
it. She was unwavering.
Yeah. She was forthright. Daya might view... Which is kind of true of drag. Like, she views drag as this, like, hierarchical thing. You know what I mean? Like, she sees herself and Ginger and Denali in this other world than, like, the other girls.
The ego of a drag queen to hear the word consistency and just assume that she's talking about me out of all 6 of us.
But it makes for good TV. Mistress is playing, like, mind games on her bracket. And I feel like Daya is really just like, she's not really playing games, but she is still being the villain.
There's something about this with Daya, and maybe because it happened over and over again, it is exhausting to me. It's not fun. It's like the type of drama that's like not fun.
It's just not unlike how she did treat Georges and Jasmine Kennedy, you know, like...
Yeah, it's the same thing we saw before.
Right.
I think that she's like somebody like a, you know, Jeremy Carey, a.k.a. Fifi O'Hara, who just, they are lovely people.
But on TV, in a competitive environment.
Into a competition.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think that is true.
The worst of them comes out.
Because I know Daya off the show is amazing and sweet, but she is competitive. And I think you're right. That competitiveness might bring out a different side of her that is maybe not the most congenial.
Is not.
Right.
Not maybe. You know, one thing we skipped over in the opening was when Denali was talking about how well she did. I felt like when Alyssa
defended Denali's lip sync,
I felt like that's what she was doing. It was like trying to make Denali feel better.
Ginger is like, I just feel like nobody celebrated my win, and Denali's like, girl, you have 2 wins.
Well,
you are fine.
Obviously, we know the confessional was filmed way later, so it's funny that she was a lot more raw there, because I felt like she was a little put on the way she apologized to her, and she felt very different. Like, she said one thing to Ginger, and then they cut to confessional, and she says, girl, shut the fuck up.
I mean, that's real. I would have done the same thing. Ginger said it shook her confidence, I guess, that Alyssa thought that Denali won.
That was real
I'm like,
interesting.
well, girl, you've got a big storm coming.
So then Ginger says, so then Ginger says, well, it wasn't you, Denali. Are you sure? Like, are you sure that wasn't part of it?
Alyssa saying that probably did hurt Ginger. Because, you know... Listen, nobody who does drag is like 100% secure.
Right. But the problem is, Ginger was so shocked that she won. She thought Denali won. I mean, she was watching her half the lip sync.
I know, yeah.
If I want a lip sync like that where I didn't like
think that I won, yeah.
Right. I'd be like, yeah, I'm shocked too. Mm-hmm. But Alyssa did apologize.
Yeah.
But of course, then Daya popped in again, and then we had to
brought up.
It's like we had to do the same conversation over again. And Alyssa,
it is kind of, and she kept going back to it.
Some of the stuff that Ginger and Daya were saying to Alyssa were very manipulative. It's not your responsibility to make me feel confident. Like, what? What a weird thing to say to somebody.
It's a little bit fishing for something. You know what I mean? Like fishing for a compliment.
It's to get in her head and make her feel bad. And you could see it. It did make Alyssa feel bad.
Yeah. I mean, like, even the way, like, when Daya and Alyssa were having their little fight, and you saw Ginger's face in the background, like, she was shook, and just like, I'm like, girl,
it just
really
feels very inauthentic.
It does. To me. Or it just feels like, are you being for real?
Daya is talking to Ginger about it as they're painting. Once again.
It already happened. I don't know why you're bringing it up.
The reality is what she was trying to get her to do, I think, is get her to agree that this week, for the final point, she will be gifting her the point to secure her spot in the finale. She was trying to force her hand to make her feel bad about this week so that she is guaranteed that point from her because she knew she wasn't getting it. But why is it Alyssa's responsibility to give you that point? Why are you not doing that to Acid or Cuckoo?
And honestly, I think Acid might have listened to her more. Right. Do you know what I mean? Like if she said, hey, Acid, like Betty Alliance or something. Right. She didn't even really try to do that.
I feel like, in general, Cuckoo would have, like, if someone was like, I need that spot.
Mm-hmm.
she would have probably given it up for them. It's just very interesting that she put it all on Alyssa.
I know, yeah. It was like
because
a little
feels like she can't.
Very pointed, not a little pointed.
It's very pointed.
Yeah, but that color corrector, that orange color corrector, she had it on.
Right, and she already got the contacts in, so she looks like a little ghoul. Greasy ghoul. The original Bitchelor on All Stars 3 is one of my all-time favorite improv.
Oh, yes, I love that. It was all the characters, just incredible.
And I've been dying for that to come back.
Yes, I've heard you say that here.
Yeah. And so I love that it did. The dog twist, I was like, well, that's unnecessary, but it could be fun. And I feel like, in general, it worked.
It added a fun layer of characterization that I enjoyed.
This whole opening with Zane and RuPaul, and first of all, meeting Zane, like we said, so beautiful, just gorgeous, and so funny, so charming. I mean, absolutely stunning.
Yeah, I need to watch that movie, Fire Island or whatever.
Right. I Googled him, and then I followed him on Instagram.
Yeah.
His Instagram, I would have never guessed that he's this person.
A golden retriever.
Because it's very, model pictures.
Right, he's very serious. Yeah. And then, in actuality, is a golden retriever.
Yeah. I love that. One weird thing that I thought just was hilarious, too, was the fact that they put RuPaul's name up there, and under it, they put the host. I don't know why that just was so funny. And all their interactions, all their little bits were so good. I was already, laughing before any of the girls even came into it.
Right. No, I was too. And sometimes with these, before scenes, we are like, okay, let's get it over with. But no, this was actually funny and cute, and they did have, good comedic chemistry, and the feeding the treat was very funny. And the big bone.
Let me get the first girl and doing the whistle.
Yeah, and I'm so sorry. Yeah, that was so funny.
So the first pair we'll talk about is Acid and Cuckoo. Now, RuPaul does an intro for what their character is in the workroom. Some of the girls added an extra, layer to it.
Yeah.
And some of them they said they did, but they actually didn't. Mm-hmm. But I thought everything Acid was doing was unhinged and hilarious. But I thought it was weird when she would be talking about her master and her obeying. I was like, I want you to just remain because you're just supposed to be the dominatrix.
Right. I will say I did like the stark difference between her natural speaking voice and her dominatrix voice. That was funny.
And she was so fully committed to both that it was funny.
But you could still be Dom with a soft voice, I guess, but she was being very submissive and then very dominant.
Well, I don't mean verbally submissive. I mean when she was talking about I do what my owner says.
Oh, right.
I didn't like the
backstory.
That really, I feel like that only happened really on the date.
Right. I do think Acid and Cynthia were their backstories of their dogs, which is so funny to be serious actor. We're analyzing this with, Tony award-winning lens or whatever.
It's the Bitchelor.
Right.
Yeah.
But, I don't think their backstories were super well thought through because I know, Cynthia threw in the Catholic, but then that never really got brought up that much. You know what I mean? It didn't play a big factor.
Oh, yeah.
She was let's pray. Or I think he said, let's pray at one point.
I felt like with Chihuahua, she just did her voice. But I thought it would have been great if she would have answered questions with almost a little yipe, the way a Chihuahua would do.
I would be Manila? Oh, yeah.
The way she would, incorporate.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. She was, and I think that's what I wanted more of with some of the girls was characterizations of a dog. I always think of Legally Blonde, Elle Woods.
I had a Chihuahua for 14 years, and he wasn't even a yipey Chihuahua. Mm-hmm. But when I think of Chihuahuas, I think of a little yipey dog.
Yeah, a little yipe.
A little Napoleon complex.
A little bratty, a little big for your britches moment.
But you know what's difficult about hers is that she has the added layer of being religious,
which I think was a weird choice.
I don't like that.
I don't think we should have done that.
Because I felt like it overcomplicates it. Because she just felt like a mom.
I think their date was kind of the most boring, of date-wise, because the other one was hot tub and a spaghetti dinner, and theirs, what were they doing?
They pulled out a pillow to tear up, or toys to tear up.
Oh, they gave them toys.
Which was very, we have to do this now.
Yeah. It came out of nowhere. Yeah. And I did like that Cynthia was share with me. Let's rip it up together, Because dogs definitely do that.
The next group, we have Daya and Denali.
This was my winning group, to me.
You think they're the winning group?
Yes, ma'am. I do. Oh. Yeah, they both had such good comedic timing with one another. I don't know what the judges were on about, talking about how Denali seemed
made
like weird decisions.
Ru said, because I even double checked, that she's supposed to be
needy,
like
and nervous.
Even though she is a what is it called? What kind of dog?
Like a helping dog,
emotional support dog. She's also supposed to be emotional and nervous.
They said that.
One of the judges literally said that confused them.
That's the prompt that you gave her.
That's what you told me to do. You know who she reminded me of? I thought her accent was great.
I do too, yeah.
She was literally playing Tia Coffee to me. I was like, that's Tia Coffee, bitch.
Oh, I could see that.
The accent was just so good. And I thought her look was really cute too.
Oh my god, her look was one of my favorites.
And I agree that I don't understand what they were talking about with her critiques at all. It just felt like, okay, again, y'all are pulling a stunt. Because I do think they had the best chemistry as a duo. And I thought it was a funny angle for them to want to go for each other.
I could tell that they rehearsed with one another and we're like, we're going to start out and we're going to say this and then we're going to lift up our leg and we're going to do this and we're going to hit X, Y, and Z. But it still felt really present and really well thought out to me. I just saw a lot of good work. You know what I mean? Like, this felt the most, like, we could take this to SNL and it would make the most sense to me. And I thought Daya did a great job of, like, she inserted so many, like, puns and, like, really, like, silly. I love, one of my favorite moments, which was definitely, like, in her mind was probably a mistake, but I thought it was great, was when she was like, hand, arm, paw. That part was so funny and it made me hoot and holler. And yeah, I just thought Denali overall did a really good job physicalizing the character, and I liked them a lot.
I did not care for Daya the way you were enjoying it. I did think she did better in the hot tub, but her entrance was cringe to me. I thought nothing worked at all at the beginning for me. Her little, like, confessional as the dog, I thought was also just flat. Nothing landed for me. But in the tub, she was great. But also, you know, especially when you compare her to people who are doing accents and voices,
she could have done more.
She's just playing herself.
There's
no characterization.
She could have characterized the dog a little bit more. I definitely agree with that. But I just thought her
was so inconsistent for me from the entrance to the hot tub.
But
they called Denali out for that.
I know.
Just ugh.
Yeah.
And I had to put this shot of his arm.
I know. I was clocked that. I said, okay, right, because listen, I get it. I would like to retrieve.
I'm not a heated angel, but I am in heat.
I think you're right.
And then the last group was Alyssa and Ginger. Alyssa was supposed to be, the prompt she was given was like a slutty dog. And she made her a mother.
Yeah.
The mother angle.
She was like, I think she did have like 14 puppies. That was like in her thing.
You don't have to bring them to the date and reference them.
We don't have, you could reference them and not bring them to the date.
And she doesn't have, like, she made her character about looking for a dad for these puppies. And he was like, no, thank you.
Right. He was not featuring
Which was bad improv for him.
Right. You don't need to have them literally attached to your dog nipples.
And even if the babies weren't attached to the nipples, there was something about the look that was a little like...
It was a little jarring.
Yeah.
And I think she was going for a sight gag at first, and it just, like,
Maybe it's too real.
Well, and, like sight gags are funny for that instance. But if you do it in the first 5 seconds of you walking in, then it's...
Right. She took the coat off immediately. Yeah.
She said the punchline too early. I do think Ginger did a undeniably good job. I just thought, again, like, she didn't really characterize a dog. She was just playing a drunk person. It was like a drunk Phyllis Diller, like her Snatch game. You know what I mean?
The voice was just so funny to me. I mean, she made me laugh before. She was the only one that I laughed at before she even got in there. Oh, Sebastian, thank you. Like, talking to the guy. That little voice just got me, and it was just so committed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with the dog. But also, like, Denali was British. So it wasn't like, no one was really a dog. The closest person that felt like a dog to me was actually Acid, because she would, like, talk.
Or Cuckoo. She did bark a little. Maybe it's not, like, my sense of humor. Obviously, I loved all the puns that she made. Of course, I did. They were funny. And I liked her doing silly prop gags with the meatball and the drink and the...
I like what he said to her. Your meatball hand. I don't remember what he said after that, but he was like, I'm like, your meatball hand.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I mean, it just killed me, the whole Brandy line, have you ever? And then the long...
Yeah, she was like, not the R&B
varied,
singer.
Just every little moment of it, I was screaming. This little boy, he didn't get it. Because he's young, he's a baby.
What was it?
Like when she was referencing Brandy's Have You Ever?
Oh, I didn't get that.
So that's a Brandy song.
Oh!
It's her, like, most famous... Well, besides The Boy's Mine, it's her most famous song.
Really?
Have you ever
I like
fallen
that
in love
one.
with someone so much?
I Want to Get Down. I feel like that's one of her biggest.
That's one of her, bops. But, like, Have You Ever was...
Have You Ever?
Was number one for a long time.
I need to go. I'm a fake Brandy fan. I'm more of a Monica girl, if I'm being honest. Miss
Gotcha.
Thing is like my album.
I was more Mo to the E to the. I feel like Alyssa really just disappeared. And Ginger took all the moments. I mean, he was setting them up with the spaghetti, and she went with it.
Yeah.
As to where, like, Alyssa just wasn't going there.
Ginger, actually, I will give her props. Like, she was trying to work with her. She was like, that was hot.
She didn't run over her.
She said that, like, whenever they did the noodle. Because I was like, whenever her and Zane were doing the noodle, I was like, oh no, is Alyssa going to get to do the noodle? Or is that, like... completely gone.
When Ginger didn't kiss him and took the spaghetti, it made sense. Mm-hmm. It was funny. But Alyssa, like,
she didn't do anything with it.
Like, if you're not going to actually, like, if you're not going to make a joke, then you need to kiss him. Like,
right.
That's consent. Whenever someone puts a spaghetti between us and says, let's slurp on this.
Right.
That says we're going to kiss at the end of this.
And there's so many things. She can be like, oh, this noodle was good, but I need your meatballs. She didn't make a choice at all.
Yeah.
You just need to make a bold choice when you're improving.
I felt like the choices she kept making were referencing, like, you're going to be the father. And, like, doesn't this dog look like you? No, it doesn't.
I think she overthought it, almost, you know?
The focus was wrong.
Every single one of this bracket's challenges were all group challenges. Wouldn't that make you mad? That would make me mad.
That's interesting. The Season 3 Curses sums it up. It truly is. It does not make a lot of sense. Some of the runways didn't make sense. So let's talk about them, and we'll look at them in their pairs as well.
Yes.
So I love this category, the paper category.
Oh my god, what a fun idea.
I didn't get our things out.
I was like, where are they?
Up first is Acid Betty and Cynthia Lee Fontaine.
Yes.
I've enjoyed everything Acid has worn, but this was my favorite.
I thought it was gorgeous, actually. And she did the hair out of paper, too, which is really cool.
I did like the wig.
Yeah.
I don't know, it felt...
it was good, cool, different color palette for her, too.
It felt very, like, Junior, not Acid Betty.
Not her brand.
Yeah.
I know Marie Antoinette, like, if she was going to do Marie Antoinette, I thought she would have done more of, like, detox, like... neon colors. You know what I mean?
Or like an Off With Your Head reference or something.
She thought she was incorporating the edge with the back, but the flames were a little sad.
It just, it didn't. It was a little underwhelming.
I liked the front a lot.
Cuckoo was.
Oh, same.
I mean.
She went to the not even Party City, baby. She went to the Dollar Tree.
That's what Jason said when we were watching the watch along.
The green was liver cancer awareness. And listen, that's beautiful.
It's a good place to start with something personal, but it still has to be elevated. I mean, she literally just wore the
you know what? I think she thought this was going to be for a mini challenge. You know what I mean? The hair is great.
Yeah, I love the wig on her. Love the color. Up next, this is a strong pair with the looks. Daya and Denali. Talk about transformations.
Oh my god. I think...
These were ones where it's like, I'm like, are you sure that's paper?
Oh no, 100%. I was like...
Because, like, wow.
Because it transformed the materials. Mm-hmm. And they were both gorgeous and, like, otherworldly.
Daya's kind of reminds me of Gigi's button look.
I was getting... Raja's Alien. The hair was so cool. I think Daya might be my top runway.
My only problem with Daya's was the waist was really loose looking. Denali's was stunning.
Denali's is like a close...
beautiful.
A close second.
The only thing with Denali's was the nude on the front looked fine, but when she turned around, we didn't see it for very long, but it looked like unfinished instead of like just a nude illusion. You know what I mean?
I don't even really remember the back too much. I think I was so focused on the like fox wings.
Yeah, I mean that is beautiful.
It was,
regardless of paper or not. I mean,
yeah, you should wear this.
This is a strong pair too. Alyssa and Ginger.
I think this is my favorite Ginger look I've ever seen.
She said that too, and I agree too. I think it's like, her best ever.
Honestly, this is a good
and her shape
flattering
was incredible.
Shape. Yes, that's what.
And she didn't look short. You know,
no, she looked so. Her waist looked good. Her proportions looked good. I loved the pearls and the wig. I loved that she did all the cross dressing. Like
All the Shakespeare references?
Yeah,
to drag.
all, like, that.
She said she hand-typed them all out. I was like, what?
I'm just a little bit like, why would you do that? And not just, like...
Well,
find a pre-existing...
Only reason I could think of would be you can't use stuff that could,
be copywritten. But it's Shakespeare, no... Like, it's been out for so long, there is no copyright.
Right. Who's going to come for this look if you put...
It's definitely rights-free. I thought Alyssa's was really pretty, too. And again, another wonderful homage to her Puerto Rican culture.
What did she say it was for?
I think it's inspired by the paper masks that they wear at festivals sometimes.
It was a
specific name.
She said something specific.
Yeah, it was a specific name. I don't remember what it was, but I think it was a paper mask.
It's beautiful because it reminds me of like China.
Oh, it does? Like the
colors.
Like the literal, like a China plate.
Yeah. Yeah, it was beautiful, and I love the colors.
I do think she looked a little uncomfortable in it.
She definitely. She said it was heavy. Which I'm like, what is underneath there? Like, what did you make that out of?
Right, because it's paper.
Like, is it still wet?
Right. Is the Mod Podge still drying?
Right.
Like, what?
Like, she looked perfect at certain angles, but then she would turn and, like, it didn't... Again,
this is what I would call a photo shoot outfit.
Yeah.
Like, it looks great in the photo, not... And I think sometimes the girls don't always think about how things will move on the runway.
Right.
Like...
The logistics of it, of actually wearing it in drag. Right. I mean, we talked about how we felt about the challenges, so I bet it wasn't a huge shock for you to see Daya, but it was a huge shock for me to see her in the top. Well, it wasn't after hearing her feedback.
You're right. It made sense from the judges' critiques, but
they've been designed to fit that.
I just kind of started dissociating, honestly, at this point of the episode. Honestly, I thought RuPaul won this lip sync when it cut away to her.
Do you know who Daya reminded me of? She reminded me of Powerline from the Goofy movie.
Oh, totally. I can see that.
Like, I felt like she was giving a little bit of that vibe.
Oh, definitely.
I didn't know she did so much dancing.
She definitely step-touched.
She's so tall. And I think sometimes because she's so tall, it looks like a little off. But she went for it.
Like a gazelle or a baby giraffe.
Yeah.
I'm not going to remember this lip sync.
Oh, no, not at all. I feel like, unfortunately, with the exception of the Wicked one, the lip syncs with this bracket have just felt like...
Oh, I've been watching See You Again. I've just been, like, putting my hand over gender and just watching... I mean, I'm doing exactly what gender is. I'm watching Denali.
This was definitely the most emotional...
Point giving.
Yeah, this was the most emotional group, which is weird because, like, there's been more tension and more, like, happening in the other groups. I don't know. Right.
There was more... I feel like a lot of the drama or, like, the tension in this one kind of happened, like, either off
pre-existing relationships.
Yeah, pre-existing stuff. Yeah. And then, like, obviously we saw... a little bit of it this episode, but it was like, I will say I was on the edge of my seat watching the point giving, and I was like, please.
At first I was confused at why everyone, when their name, like someone would say their name, why they were so emotional. It's because everyone that got gifted a point, they did not give their point to that person. But if you realize what they did, everyone, like, it was like a circle.
It was.
Because they all gifted each other, so all four of them gifted to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So they all just got the one. But they had already put Cuckoo ahead with the previous points.
And the power of the people, baby. Cuckoo didn't win one challenge, and she made it through.
The power of Acid Betty.
The power of Acid Betty.
I mean, it was almost... I don't want to say bittersweet, because it wasn't that... I didn't feel that much joy in this moment. But
it was a little just bitter.
I mean, it was sweet
for me.
It was sweet to see their relationships.
Like, what a powerful thing for Cynthia... And I'm not trying to dim her light at all, or Ginger's light for that matter. Denali, to me, like, I just always envisioned her coming back and having, like, a Shea Coulee or a lemon on UK versus the world. Or, sorry.
Not that one.
Canada versus the world.
So you thought she was out first.
This was just kind of, like, hard for me to watch.
So the only other person that had won a challenge that didn't make it through was Tina Burner, but in that bracket, there was 4 people that won.
Mm-hmm.
this bracket, there was only 3. She was one of the 3. And she's the only person that made it through that didn't win any challenges is Cynthia. And this season has been so weird because it feels like we're in a different season now because...
Oh, it's almost like an All-Stars within an All-Stars.
We were on a high from bracket 2, from the pink group. I mean, that was electric. We didn't want that to be over. It was so much fun to watch every week. And then, it was a grinding halt from the get-go with the purple group. I hope that with the groups coming together and,
I mean, it's going to be fun to see Mistress and Aja and Bosco in the same room. That's going to be fun.
Well, and we see the preview, it's really focused on making it look like Mistress is immediately going to come for Ginger. And Ginger's like, I haven't had my coffee yet. She says something like, what do you want? But also, they both look so, we get to finally see that they were going to come back looking so different.
Yeah. It's like everybody, even Aja, like
everyone has new looks, but obviously they've gone through big body transformations.
Transformations are the biggest, yeah.
And maybe the reason why she's trying to get Ginger is because this week they're doing Snatch Game, which I like that they're doing that.
She's trying to bring her down a peg. That's what she's
right
coming
before
for.
Snatch Game, she's like, let's get in her head because she's the girl to get. Because, looking at this group... Yeah, Ginger is the girl. She's won Snatch Game twice.
I think girls have done well, is going to slay.
I think Irene has the potential to do well. Aja did well on her second time.
Oh, Aja did do great as Crystal.
The rest of them are pretty much season 14 girls.
It's kind of...
And then Cuckoo, who went home at Snatch Game.
It's Ginger's to lose, let's just say that, And I feel like the person who would give her the closest run for her money would be Irene. I could see Lydia, honestly, doing great, too. I know you weren't, that enthused by her David Lynch, but I really loved her David Lynch.
I'm interested to see what her choice is, though, because I feel like because she makes such unexpected choices that it could be really cool.
Off the wall, yeah.
I'm happy that Raven and Raja will be there because
I'm really happy that Raja's
when Funny
there.
Queens are up there because that means they'll at least be funny.
They'll be able to volley with Ru,
and they have great chemistry together.
Oh my God, yeah. They will be tootin' and bootin'.
Yeah, this is Raja's first time.
There. Yeah, as a guest. And she looks so cool. Her look looked amazing.
They both look their beats are perfect.
Right. They are the makeup girlies.
Because Raven has that hard front on, but, you can't say nothing when that face is just...
Right. Hard front with a soft face. Are you excited for Snatch Game, though? Or no? Oh.
Well, I'm nervous that it's not going to be any good because, we've got how many 14 girls there?
I know.
That was one of the worst. And
that's
the
true.
one that actually did do well was there earlier, but she's eliminated.
Yeah.
So you got Bosco. Georges has done it twice now. And I don't remember the second one on All Stars, but I know it wasn't good. Who did she play the second time? John Leguizamo or something? And she was not actually dressed like him at all.
Yeah, I don't think she... And she could have looked so much like him if she wanted to.
Right. Little Latin boy in drag.
Why are you crying?
That's the character to be. Be
right.
Wesley Snipes. Someone should do Wesley Snipes.
Oh my God.
That would be great.
Bob would eat that. I'm hoping Aja and Irene can give Ginger a run for her money so we can hopefully have a good snatch. And I feel like Bosco also has probably had a long time to think about what she wants to do.
And she's been so funny with Ru for her season.
She did Elvira for Snatch Game? I don't think she would.
I can't believe no one has.
I know! She would kill an Elvira.
The only reason I can think is because it is a copywritten character. But say you're Cassandra Peterson.
If anyone's going to give you permission, I feel like she would.
I asked our Patreon members before the semifinals get started, because we're going into the semifinals with 9. Who are we rooting for? Bosco is the winner. Personally, right now, that's who I could envision as the winner tomorrow.
I would love Bosco, Aja, Irene, or even Mistress.
Lydia. That would be gaggy. I think that would be so cool.
I think Bosco...
In terms of, what was a winning moment for you to be a winner from this? Was her Murder on the Dance Floor lip sync. That deserves a crown. There was a presence that was just,
an undeniable presence. And I also think about her just being like, are you ready? With the coffin. Get in.
And it wasn't just that. Every little moment opportunity she had with Ru.
She milked it.
She did it.
Yeah.
She took it.
She chewed that scenery, and baby, she ate.
Ginger came in dead last, and Daya was right behind her. And I added in just for fun. It ain't right without Nicole Paige Brooks from Atlanta, Georgia.
And she beat them both.
She beat both of them, and she beat Cynthia.
Yeah.
I mean, that...
It did just premiere, so I feel like we have that taste in our mouth a little bit.
And I mean, there are still 2 more challenges.
There are. So we could have a whole narrative shift, and I think we might.
Yeah, I mean, they were such compartmentalized stories.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make it all come together.
I mean, I still think this season is fun. I think we had a little bit of a tripsy Magoo.
Now it's time to take a look at our YouTube thanks. Julia coming through with the thanks. Thank you, Julia. And then Juan said, we both look gorgeous. I'm pretty sure this was for me and Chloe, and we were in drag, but I'm sure that you think that about how we look right now as well.
Hopefully.
They said, Happy Pride. Thanks for the content. Thank you. Happy Pride to you as well.
Yes. Oh my God, Pride.
I know many of us, including myself, have focused on how rigged this bracket is, but I want to say something positive about it, and that is that Cuckoo really is the most congenial of the miscongenialities.
Mm-hmm.
Followed some conversations online and snippets from Untucked. Apparently, she's been there pretty much for every girl in her bracket. Regarding how y'all would do on a best friend race, I could see it being great TV regardless of the pairings from the Mangle fam. Oh yeah, you missed that. So we did a best friend race video, but then we also talked about if we were paired with somebody from Mangle Morning.
Oh.
Chloe aesthetically and I would go together the easiest.
Yeah, because y'all are both very like comic booky.
But I also thought like it would be more interesting or maybe more dynamic if you and I were paired together. Ooh. Because also, like, the fairy and the hero, like, I could see where our worlds would blend.
Yeah.
We'd have to work a little bit harder at it, but it could be more stimulating for me.
Yeah, no, I would love both of those pairings.
I think it would be a huge challenge for Chloe and Chastity to be paired together.
Oh my God, that would be hard.
But I would love to see where that would meet.
Where the merging of the two.
We would have a way easier time.
Yeah, then that's real.
But honestly, I could make it work for any of
I think you could, yeah. I think we could. I mean, like, we're all creative here at the Mangled Morning, and I think we could do the Digifusion Volutions.
I forgot we were doing YouTube things. Well, we're going to head out of here for now. Let us know what you think about everything on All Stars 10. And make sure you're subscribed because, there's lots of updates, and people have been asking us to talk about all the buzz around All Stars 11 and potentially another season that is super fan requested that we're going to be discussing very soon. You never know when Mangle Morning might become a Mangled Night. Drop a little early. Ooh. Mangle Afternoon.
Mangled Evening.
Because we got a lot of hot news to cover.
So much hot news to cover.
On this hot, sweaty day.
And these heated angels.
On a hot summer sidewalk. I have one last thing to say today. Glad you got to see us. Ruff.